You don't say that to a pastor. Thank you for letting me join you tonight. I will try to be very quick as possible. Let me start with this. God's word says in Jeremiah 1:5, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. And Genesis 1:27-28 says, we were created in the image of God. God said, let us create man in our own image, and he created them male and female. My name is Robert Knipe, and that's the least important part of this whole thing. So what I want to do is I want to tell you how I got here. I want to tell you a little story, and then I want to tell you about the organization that I'm partnering with. So here's how I got here. Like many of you, and I don't want to tell this story because I really believe that there's many of us out there that are a lot like me. I really believe that. So this is how I got here. I've got a burden for the abortion issue, like I'm sure many of you do. And so last year I was thinking a whole lot about the issue and what could I do, because I really feel like there's more than I can do than what I've been doing. So I really don't have a whole lot of money to pour into a certain candidate's campaign. I really don't have the time to go to Charlotte and go on the streets and preach and pray and plead with folks. I really don't have a whole lot of time to do that. So like most of you, I feel like the main thing that I can do is vote for my pro-life candidate, and then I've done my duty. But it really become a burden to me is that all that I can do? And so I was thinking, and maybe the Lord led me in this direction, but the thought came to my mind, what if my county, little Lincoln County, as a whole said, we are against abortion and we will not let a Planned Parenthood build a facility here. That was just my thinking, my pipe dream. So I told that to my pastor. He said, you need to go to our neighboring church. There's a pastor over there, one of the pastors at that church. His name is Josh Kappas. He said, you need to go speak to him. Josh Kappas is the vice president of Love Life in Charlotte, if you've ever heard of Love Life. I spoke to him, and he said, you need to speak to Keith Pavlansky. So I got in touch with him. Keith Pavlansky is the director of Personhood Alliance in North Carolina. Personhood Alliance is a national organization that works and partners with local people at the grassroots level to help abolish abortion. So that's where we're coming from. Now the story. In the mid-1800s, there was a slave. His name was Joshua Glover. He escaped. He escaped to, he was in Missouri. He escaped to Wisconsin, Racine, Wisconsin. He lived there for a few years. His former owner caught wind of where he was. His name was, why does your mind go blank when you come up here? His name was Garland. And he got in touch with Deputy Marshal Cotton. And so they went, and in the middle of the night, they went, and like many of the horror stories that you've heard, they beat him to the end of his life. Racine was an abolitionist, full of abolitionist folks. And so they took him from Racine and went to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and threw him in jail there. He was a good citizen. Once he escaped and he lived in Racine, the people loved him there, and they hated slavery. So what they did, they gathered there. Once they found out what happened, they gathered together, and they voted on a president, voted on a secretary, and then together they formed a committee. They wrote a resolution, and they would bring it to the people, and they would say, this is the resolution, and the people would say, oh, you need to add this or that or change this. They did all that, wrote a resolution. The folks there in Racine knew an abolitionist, a famous abolitionist in Milwaukee. His name was Mr. Booth. They said, we've got a guy here that's been improperly detained. He's in jail, and so rally your people. So the people from Racine go to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and they meet with Mr. Booth folks. They present the resolution to the judge, and on top of that, the sheriff in Racine got a warrant for the former owner and the deputy marshal because of the mistreatment of Joshua Glover. So they go with the resolution, they go with the warrant, and they take it to the judge up there in Milwaukee. The Milwaukee judge is a pro-slavery judge, and so he dismisses it, and he said, we got to wait till Monday. 4 to 5,000 people from Racine, this is what I've read, 4 to 5,000 people from Racine and Milwaukee gathered together for one man, Joshua Glover. When the resolution and the warrant was dismissed, they broke down one door, got him out, helped him to freedom, and he lived free. I think he made it to Canada and lived free the rest of his life. These weren't just pro-life people who waited on the next election cycle to vote on somebody. They weren't just anti-slavery. These folks were abolitionists, and they did something. They formed a resolution, and they moved forward with their beliefs. So I'm looking for our little county, Lincoln County, other Lincoln Countyans, fellow members. I'm looking for our thousands. I'm looking for our abolitionists who want to help end abortion. So that leads me to the organization that I'm working with, Personhood Alliance, and they have 3 steps. The first step is to present a resolution to the county commissioners and ask them to pass this resolution. We have a resolution. It's sitting on the table over there. It's already written up for us. All we got to do is put our name on it. And what I'm doing now is trying to gather signatures. And I'm making it real easy. There's a petition online. And I have all this information also on my website. Please take one of my cards tonight. It'll take you to my ministry webpage, but you'll see on the menu, Ending Abortion in Lincoln County. Go to that page, watch the videos, read the material, become informed on what's going on, and sign the petition. Ask others to sign the petition. Share the webpage, share the petition, and come with me when we go, and let's fill the room, the county board room, and say, County Commissioner, will you pass this resolution? We have more ability than what we realize as a county. We want to go for the resolution. We want to go and ask them to pass ordinances that will, say we won't have a Planned Parenthood built here. We will stop the sale of certain things that end abortion. We can do that. But also, Lincoln County can join 4 other counties that have passed this resolution in North Carolina. And if we get enough counties together, we can create what they call local laws. And we can vote on it in our counties. And as with a local law, it doesn't have to go to Raleigh. It doesn't have to go across the governor's desk. It will be law in our county. And we can do this. We can see change in our lifetime. We can do this. And so I'm looking for our thousands. I'm looking for abolitionists. Moving away from pro-life, moving away from anti-abortion, because we're coming up on the 50th anniversary of Roe versus Wade. And I hate to say that the only thing that the pro-life movement has done is created laws that only regulate abortion. They only tell us that who can be killed and when they can be killed. And we don't want anybody to be killed. The unborn are persons. God knew us before we were formed in our mother's womb. And we want to save them. We don't want to see any more persons killed. So will you join me? Will you at least take the card, watch the videos, read the information, share the petition, and sign it? And maybe we can start moving forward with these ordinances, with these resolutions. And one last thing, there's already a bill in North Carolina, HB 158. Put it in your mind, write it down, HB 158. It's in committee right now, but we want to support our pro-life candidates to look at this bill and support this bill. It's an abolitionist bill. It's already been written, and it's in committee in North Carolina right now. HB 158. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.